video for emergency rescue solutions, and we're continuing talking about medical gases, and this time we're looking at the Entonox. So this is the practical element. You hopefully have already watched the PowerPoint with all the technical information and the theory that you need to know. So here in ERS we are keeping a simple breakable cable tie on the zips at the top, and that will be dated, and I would have signed that to say that everything inside is ready to go. That is very easy, just to snap and break when you do need to use it, opening up the zips, and some of our equipment starts to come out. So what we've done in the top of this is just put some aid memoirs, and these are directly from the Pocket JR Calc, and that is an aid memoir for your Socrates, so when you're doing your pain assessment. But in all fairness, you should really have this separate, and you should know this, so you may have your own aid memoir for that. And we've also put in here a copy of the do's and don'ts of using Entonox, but again, you should know when you're not going to use it, otherwise you wouldn't have opened up the kit. Once you've opened it up, we can then remove the giving sets there and the cylinder, and also inside the inner pocket at the top on this bag is going to be a filter and a mouthpiece. So the first thing we're going to do is just check all of our dates on all of our equipment and make sure everything is in date, especially our gases. We can look on the outside and see the gauge to see how full the cylinder is, and we're just going to check that the cylinder is off at this stage, which it should be. Good practice, always keep our cylinders laid down. With the giving set here, just make sure this looks like it's all intact and there's no obvious damage to it. We are then going to plug the giving set in, and that will be underneath this little grey flap here, and it will plug into here. So we get the shroud, and we're just going to push this in and hear a little click. So make sure it comes, doesn't come out. To remove it, you just turn that wheel and it will come out from there. So again, just push it in until we get the click. That's in there now. I'm now going to switch the cylinder on, so we're just going to turn that around. Check our gauges there, and now this is ready. We can purge it very quickly just to make sure gas comes out. So by pushing the button on the back, we know the Entonox is coming out. So this side of the equipment is ready, apart from the inversion, which I'll do in a second. We're now going to get out a new filter for every patient. So as we open this up, it only goes one way round. The filter will go onto the purging bit there. Take that off, and there'll be a new mouthpiece for every patient. So again, making sure we don't touch it and contaminate it, we'll open up that and just push it on, and even present it to the patient with the paper still on there. So before we use it with Entonox, because it's nitrous oxide and oxygen, we're just going to invert it 3 or 4 times just to mix the gases. And don't be afraid of doing this whilst it's being used as well, because what would happen if you don't, then the gases will separate, and you'll find that the patient will be getting predominantly oxygen rather than the mixture of the two gases. Now we're ready for the patient to take this. We are not going to be inhaling any gas during the training or the simulation of this. But for real, the patient would remove it, put this into their mouth as a bite piece, and then they would suck. So for training, I'm just going to remove this, and then they would inhale through here, take a deep breath in, and hold it for a count of 1, 2, 3 before blowing out, and then they'll do that again. And that's how they breathe until they get the effect. Remembering it can take between 3 and 5 minutes to get the effect. Each time they suck in, we're going to hear the noise. You won't need to press that, that noise will happen. So if I just simulate this, So there's just a simulation of what it would hear like and feel like whilst the patient is taking that analgesia of Entonox. Once you have completed this, or during the patient taking it, you must make sure you fill out your patient report form. Remembering the forms we use currently for ERS, the oxygen and Entonox are both down here in highlighted. You will have to sign it to say that you've administered that Entonox, and remembering to always put your cardboard underneath so you don't print through because they're carbonated. The top copy of the form, once complete, comes back to us at ERS, and the bottom copy, the pink copy, can go on to whoever's providing medical care, whether that be back to their GP or to the ambulance service. So we do hope you've enjoyed this video on Entonox for ERS staff. If you have any other requests for equipment that we use within ERS, please do let us know, and we will try and do some staff training, even if it's through videos as we're doing for this.